Today we're going to take a look at solving system of equations by elimination. So we have the problem x minus y is equal to 1 and 2x plus 2y is equal to 22. So the first thing I want to do is first rewrite my problems to the right here, along with a few steps to help us solve for x and y. So we have x minus y is equal to 1. And we also have 2x plus 2y is equal to 22. Now, step number 1, identify standard form for both equations. So are both equations in standard form? Yes, they are. So let's go on to step number 2. Identify which term to eliminate. Okay, so I want to eliminate first the y terms. So I'm going to place an orange, eliminate y. Now, step 3. Step 3, I need to multiply the first equation by the first, multiply the equation such that by a number such that when I multiply it times y and add it to 2y, I will get 0. So what is the number that I can multiply negative y by such that when I add it to 2y, I will get 0? So multiply equation and solve system. So for example, notice that we have 2y for our second equation. Well, most cases we are going to look for the opposite of a number, which in this case, the opposite of 2 would be negative 2. So I need to multiply the first equation by 2 in order to eliminate y. So if I change my color here, I have 2 times x minus y is equal to 1 times 2. Okay. So of course, if I multiply on one side, I have to do the same on the right hand side. And then I'm just going to rewrite my second equation because that does not change. Okay, now let's simplify. So we have 2x minus 2y is equal to 2. And again, our second problem remains the same as it once was before. Now, let's take it a step further and let's add these two equations together. Notice how I changed my color as I was getting ready to do the next step. So I have 4x and negative 2y plus 2y gives us with 0 is equal to 24. Okay, then of course if we simplify, we have a 4x is equal to 24, where x is equal to 6. Okay, now step 4, let's scroll the screen up just a little bit. Change my color back to red. Step 4, substitute variable back into one of the equations. So I'm going to choose the first equation that we started with, which is x minus 1 is x minus y, excuse me, is equal to 1. So we're going to have x minus 1, and again, let's change my color. So x minus y is equal to 1, where x is equal to 6, and then we solve. So we have 6 minus y is equal to 1, and we find that y is equal to 5. So let's check. So let's scroll up more. So 5, check both x and y. So we would take x and y, which is 6, 5, and plug those back into both equations to check. So we have x minus y is equal to 1. So we have x minus y is equal to 1. So we have 6 minus 5 is equal to 1. We find that 1 is equal to 1. So that works. Okay. Next problem. We have 2x plus 2y is equal to 22. So we have 2 times 6 plus 2 times 5 is equal to 22. And we find that 2 times 6 is 12 plus 10 is equal to 22. And we find that 12 plus 10 gives us 22 is equal to 22. So therefore that is correct. And therefore we solve from both x and y.